What's up, YouTube? Tim Moose here. Now, with Charlie Sheen's new docuseries called AKA Charlie Sheen out on Netflix now, and he also has a book that he that's also out. I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Charlie Sheen film and TV projects. Now, I know obviously he's always was trouble over the years, and really good on him that he's like I think he said 10 years sober, so good on Charlie Sheen for that. I mean, I've always still liked Charlie Sheen. He's done comedy pretty well. He's done dramas and all. I mean, the guy's obviously he comes from a really talented family. His dad is Mars Sheen, his brother is Mil Estevez. I mean, and Charlie is definitely a pretty good one. So here is my official top 10. Number 10 is the short-lived series that premiered on FX. FX doesn't really do like these multi-cam sitcoms anymore. Like that's unfortunate. But anyway, was the sitcom Anger Management. Now this is of course based on the loosely based on the Adam Sandler Jack Nicholson comedy of the same name. It stars Charlie Sheen as Charlie Goodson, who's a therapist who runs an anger management group while dealing with his own issues here. His life is very complicated by his ex-wife, daughter, best friend. You do got Selma Blair who plays Charlie's therapist and love interest. Shawnee Smith comes in as Charlie's ex-wife. You also do got Brian Austin Green here. It's really hilarious. It only lasted for I think about 3 seasons if I'm not mistaken. But it's still a pretty fun show. I mean, I watch it once in a while when there's reruns here and there. I mean, it's not as funny as Charlie Sheen's other sitcom, Two and a Half Men, which I'll talk about here in a bit. But it's still pretty decent and really showcase that Charlie Sheen does have his way with sitcom roots, and this is a pretty good one here. All right, coming in at number 9 is Men at Work. Now, this was of course directed and starring Charlie Sheen's real life brother Emil Estevez, about two garbage men who stumbles into a conspiracy involving toxic waste and murder, turning their lives into a comedic adventure. And this movie is pretty hilarious here. You got Leslie Hope is in this. You got Emil Estevez, Keith David. I mean, obviously, they are brothers in real life, so they really had good chemistry here. They really play off each other very well and all. I mean, it's really funny that they're actually not even brothers in this. They're just regular slacker garbage men. I always found that to be funny. But yeah, Man at Work is a pretty decent one there. All right, number 8 is the movie Lucas. Now, Lucas, of course, starred Corey Haim, Kerry Green, Courtney Dawn Smith. One of Winona Ryder's earliest roles. I think this was actually her first feature, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this stars the late Corey Haim, who plays this brainy 14-year-old who falls for a cheerleader played by Kerry Green, and he befriends her while facing bullying jocks. And of course, he joins a football team to prove himself with Cappy as his protector. Charlie Sheen, of course, plays the popular and empathetic football player who pretty much takes Lucas under his wing. Now, I know there's some rumors about Charlie Sheen and Corey Haim, which I'm not going to get into. But Charlie Sheen, obviously, this was one of his earliest roles. Obviously, before this one, he did had his little fun cameo in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He even had an uncredited cameo in when he was young. He had actually had an uncredited cameo in Apocalypse Now. Also with Mars Sheen. But Lucas is a really decent one, worth giving a go. A nice football film, a nice coming of age tale. It is a really decent one, worth giving a go. All right. Number 7 is Wall Street. Now, Wall Street, of course, is about a stockbroker who is seduced by a high stakes world of finance here. Of course, you got Michael Douglas in his Oscar-winning role as Gordon Gekko. Directed by Oliver Stone, also starring Daryl Hannah, Mara Sheen, Terrence Stamp. Here, of course, you got Bud Fox, played by Sheen, who's a stockbroker who pretty much idolizes Gordon Gekko and who's a wealthy and unethical investor. And obviously, Charlie Sheen also did reprise his role in the not so good sequel, My Never Sleeps. Uh, but he was of course pretty good in the first film. His like chemistry with Michael Douglas was really great. His father Marshall was really good in this. I mean, it's a really decent performance, to say the least. There. All right. Number six is Platoon. Now, Platoon is another Oliver Stone film starring Charlie Sheen, William Dafoe, Tom Berenger. Where of course Charlie Sheen is a college dropout who volunteers for the Vietnam and joins a platoon split between compassionated Sergeant Ellis and ruthless Sergeant Bonds here. And Charlie Sheen's character is very innocent. And of course, he is a recruit idolized in the Shadow Wars brutality. And this, of course, has lots of up and coming actors from like Forrest Whitaker to Johnny Depp. Some really decent supporting players. Obviously, William Dafoe was also great in this. This is definitely one of the top tier war movies of all time. I mean, it's a really great one. Coming in at number five is Scary Movie 3. I always loved his little cameo, like his not a cameo, but his scenes in Scary Movie 3. Here of course you got Charlie Sheen who plays Tom Logan, who's an ex priest and farmer, and he's also the brother of Simon Rex's George character. Obviously, him and Simon Rex are pairing Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix's characters from the movie Signs. And Charlie Sheen's character here, Tom, who of course his wife, and this is played by Denise Richards, ends up getting killed here. And Charlie, like the scene where of course Charlie Sheen, like the flashback scene where of course Charlie Sheen sees Denise Richards' character in the car, and always cracks me up there. Or the best moment here is probably with Charlie Sheen, obviously, is his little fight scene with Michael Jackson. That is one of the most highlights of this movie. It's probably awkward watching now because Michael Jackson passed and all, but I still always get a kick out of it every time I rewatch it. And man, the actor who played Michael Jackson, perfect casting there. Really wonderful there. So yeah, I just had a fun time with Scary Movie 3, and obviously he did come back for Scary Movie 4, and he even came back for Part 5, where in Part 5 he ended up pretty much being married to Lindsay Lohan, so I that was also funny. But he was actually best in Part 3. And if Marlon Wayans comes out of the gate and says that Charlie Sheen is coming back for Scary Movie 6, I wouldn't mind that at all. I really think he's trying to ignore everything from Scary Movie 3, so... But hey, I wouldn't mind getting Charlie Sheen come back, like at least for a cameo or whatever, but who knows. Alright. Coming in at number 4 is Red Dawn. Now, of course, this is but by the way, this is actually the first ever PG-13 film of all time, so just want to wrap your heads around that one. And this is about like a group of teenagers who becomes fighters when their small town is invaded by Soviet and Cuban forces in alternate history of World War III. Obviously, you got Patrick Swayze who plays Jed Eckert, leader of the Wolverines, and Charlie Sheen, of course, plays like his younger brother. You do got other cast members like Leah Thompson, Jennifer Grey, C. Thomas Howell, many others. But the brother chemistry between Swayze and Sheen is always really good. The action is really decent. It is a really classic film there. Wolverines. Those are the original Wolverines. Sorry, Hugh Jackman. Those will always be the OG Wolverines. But anyway, coming in at number 3 is probably one of his funniest sitcoms, and that is obviously 2.5 Men. Obviously, I think Charlie Sheen actually won a couple of Emmys for this, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it John Cryer? I know one of them won a couple of Emmys. Obviously, Charlie Sheen would not come back for the last few seasons for obvious reasons. But he was replaced by Ashton Kutcher. I like what Jeff Ross said at the um, at the roast of Charlie Sheen, saying the guy from Dude, Where's My Car ended up replacing replacing Charlie Sheen. Yeah. But Two and a Half Men is still pretty decent. Like his stints were pretty decent. Obviously, Sheen starred in the very first 8 episodes, and of course, again, he ended up getting killed and was replaced by Ashton Kutcher, which I actually did not mind. So many people poo poo on that, but I thought Ashton Kutcher was pretty decent in the last few seasons. But hey, obviously the brother chemistry between Charlie Sheen and John Cryer is great. Other great characters like obviously Jake Harper, of course is Alan's son here. Obviously Holland Taylor as their mother. I mean, it is it's a really funny sitcom. Charlie Sheen's great. John Cryer's terrific. Really fun episodes. I mean, this show pretty much ran for like 12 seasons, which good on it. I mean, some shows don't really last for like 3 seasons, so really cool that this ran for about 12 seasons there. And yeah, and of course the actress. I always keep forgetting the character. I think Berta might be her name. Berta, of course, the housekeeper. She always cracks me up every time she's on screen. It's a shame she passed away. But anyway, yeah, if you guys never seen Two and a Half Men, definitely give that one a go. All right. Number two, by the way, speaking of John Cryer, because he's also in this. Number two is Hot Shots. I'm actually going to go with both films. Hot Shots, of course, the other one, Hot Shots Part 2, was pretty decent too. This is obviously a parody of the the Top Gun film, and follows a troubled pilot who is recruited for a high-stakes mission filled with absurd humor and over-the-top action. You know what? With Naked Gun being a success, the recent Liam Neeson one, I wouldn't mind getting another Hot Shots one these days. That could be pretty cool. But anyway, of course, obviously, Charlie Sheen did pretty well with like the spoof genre with Hot Shots and Hot Shots Part 2, which obviously was a parody of the Rambo franchise. Also, you have like Cary Elwes, Lloyd Bridges, John Cryer also pops up here, obviously years before Two and a Half Men. I mean, Hot Shots definitely is one of the funniest spoof movies of that era. Charlie Sheen really plays his part very well. Obviously, playing the Tom Cruise type character is hilarious, and of course, directed by Jim Abrams, who of course gave us Airplane and stuff. It's just a really fun, hilarious one. And my favorite Charlie Sheen project is none other than Major League. Almost said Major Pain. Totally different Major. This, of course, we're like a ragtag group of misfit baseball players. It's assembled by a New York team owner who wants like the Cleveland Indians to lose so he can relocate the franchise. Now, this is definitely one of the top tier baseball movies in my opinion. Tom Berenger is also in this. You have Wesley Snipes, Corbin Burnson. They also did do a sequel, which actually I was not a fan of. But the OG Major League is great. It has lots of fun to it. Charlie Sheen plays his part very well. The baseball scenes are pretty cool. I mean, it's a really hilarious baseball movie worth giving a go there. But that's pretty much it. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, Anger Management. 9, Men at Work. 8, Lucas. 7, Wall Street. 6, Platoon. 5, Scary Movie 3. 4, Red Dawn. 3, Two and a Half Men. 2, Hot Shots. And number 1 is Major League. Now, there's lots of other ones I could have added. Now, he, of course, was in All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, which I love the original. With, of course, he ended up replacing Burt Reynolds in this one. I like the original more. The sequel I was not a fan of. He did that little 9/11 movie with Whoopi Goldberg. That was horrible. Probably his worst movie, in my opinion. I actually quite like the Arrival that he did with. That's more of a guilty pleasure of mine. Mad Family. He actually played the President of the United States in Machete Kills. That would actually be in my honorable mention, by the way. Because he actually was credited as not Charlie Sheen. He actually was. This is actually one of the few times where he was actually credited by his real name, Carlos Estevez. So, pretty cool there. Obviously, the TV front, Friends, the Comedy Central of Charlie Sheen was hilarious. He had a fun cameo as himself on like Family Guy, CSI, The Big Bang Theory. Obviously, he of course had his little fun cameo in Ferris Bueller, but he also reprised his Garth Vobeck character again on an on an episode of The Goldbergs, which was obviously a Ferris Bueller parody. Let's see what else. The Chase, The Arrival, uh, Eight Man Out, Wisdom, uh, Apocalypse Now, Who remembers Grizzly 2? Yeah. Anyway, let me let you guys. What are some of your favorite Charlie Sheen projects, like film or TV? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Him Inside.